Hello there. Welcome to my website. Glad you're joining me today, where I'm going to give you a little update on some of the things we're talking about in our radio program. You can also look over my weekly column, some of the new books we have on the Lisbon Press, and have some fun with some of the more humorous aspects we have on the site. I want to go back and look at the news. What's amazing to me is how the news cycle changes so very much. 3 weeks ago, it was all about this fellow Roger Stone, the trickster who was indicted, and I want to talk about that later on, a confidant of Donald Trump. Then last week, we spent the whole focus on the blackface issue, whether or not the governor is going to survive. Looks like the governor in Virginia is going to wait out the storm and kind of get it behind us. And I wrote about blackface just this last week. I might talk about it a little bit here today. And then we've got the curious case of Jesse Smollett, the Empire soap opera guy who says he was accosted and beat up because he is a minority, because he is gay. And now we see that the allegations are that maybe he rigged the whole thing himself. I'm not passing judgment. I hope he didn't. That'd be terrible. But that's all in the news and dominating. Who knows what will dominate things by the time you come to my website. I'd like to go back to Roger Stone, though. Stone is a minor operative who likes lots of attention, who's a hanger-on of President Trump, not really a confidant. And so he was asked about the Russian investigation. He's very bolsterous. He exaggerates. And so Congress calls him before one of their committees, and he gives testimony in closed door, in secrecy. And he's been indicted for making false statements to that committee. And if he made false statements, he should be held accountable. Here's the curious thing about it. First of all, he can't see what the false statements are. All the testimony before the House Intelligence Committee is secret, and they won't let him get a copy of what the false statements were. In other words, you're accused of a crime, but you can't confront the statements you made that caused the crime, which seems like highly un-American, a direct violation of the Fourth Amendment. And that will play out in court. I've seen that happen down in my home state of Louisiana, those direct violations. So that was very concerning as an American citizen. But how he was arrested. Stone was under investigation for a long time. His lawyers told the prosecutors, look, if you're going to indict the guy, tell us, don't make him do one of these prep walks where you walk through all of the various press. He'll just show up. And so one of the allegations, what happened to him was, well, he might destroy documents. He knew for months that he was under suspicion. If he's going to destroy documents, he would have done so. So he's charged with making false statements, which is something you shouldn't do, but it's not like it's the end of the world. It's done all the time, even by members of Congress. So what do? 27 agents come into his home with a battering ram and weapons drawn, assault rifles drawn at 6 o'clock in the morning. There's a helicopter with weapons hovering aboard. There's 2 amphibious vehicles. He's got apparently a little lake there where he lives in South Florida. So they got 2 amphibious vehicles. I mean, it's so overkill that it's almost amusing, except you wouldn't want to let it happen to you. There were more agents who pursued this minor little character who might end up going to jail for 6 months or a year if that happens over what he did. And there were more agents that went after him than went after Osama bin Laden. Let me just say that again. You get Osama bin Laden, the most sought after terrorist in the world, didn't have the attack they did on this guy, Roger Stone. I don't know Roger Stone. Like I say, he seems a little off the wall. I don't defend him. If he made false statements, he should be held accountable. But that overkill is just what gives people so much suspicion of where their country is going today. That's jackboot. That's Gestapo. That's just wrong. It's an abuse of power by Mueller and this whole federal investigative team. It's abuse of power by the FBI, and it brings lots of citizens like me very suspicious of the motives of the government we have in play today. So I shared that with you. I wrote that column 2 weeks ago. It's here on the website. And I like to have fun and enjoy it and give you something easy to listen to on the radio on weekends. But this is really a troubling time in which we live. Whether it be the antics of the president, whether it be some of the Democratic overkill responses, both sides have been highly irresponsible in this entire debate. And I want to point that out to you. Hey, glad you're on my website. Hope you listen to our weekend radio show this weekend. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care.